Good day, and welcome to the Budding Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Bridges. In each episode, I cover my experiences, both good and bad, of being a business builder, as well as my journey through the crazy world of entrepreneurship to reach my goal of earning $10 million a year. All right. We are on episode 121. It is November 9th of 2023. We are on the second week of the month, which means that we're getting a chance to have started with everything, put it all in place. That was what we did last week. And now we're picking up steam to roll into the rest of the month. In our book section, we still have our $100 million offers by Alex Hormozi, Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson, and Boss Moves by Myron Golden. Now, I've added a bit of a twist to how I'm doing things. I've been spending a lot of time working on the marketing aspects of things. And now I'm starting to roll into the sales side of things. And this is the second half. It's like the marketing builds up your interest, and then the sales is your outreach. And there are some things that are coming up that are going to be fun. But these books are not the only thing I'm reading. I have many different things. I talked a little bit about The Traveler's Gift. I've mentioned The Linchpin by Russell Brunson in the past. But some of the things that have come into my world in the interim as I've been working on those are books that come from other sources. I have one that's by a gentleman, Sabri Suby, S-U-B-Y, and it's called Sell Like Crazy. It's actually not a thick book, but it really has some great content on getting the mindset going for sales. On another area of books, I have 9-Figure Mindset by Brandon Dawson. Brandon is the one who actually runs Cardone Ventures for Grant Cardone, and he is heavily instrumental in growing that process. And it's been really good to kind of read some of the things that he's saying. It's, again, not a thick book, but many times these thinner books give us more value. And that's an important thing to consider. The books that I'm mentioning are ones that I'm committed to read and read all the way through. Now, I may not complete them in a month. I had kind of planned on Expert Secrets to be done by now. And it's in its second month, just simply because there's so much going on. Just simply because there's so much going on, so many things are happening, and I sometimes get that bright, shiny object syndrome going on. But I wanted to kind of let you understand that doing this isn't like these are the only things I'm doing. Constantly pulling resources from different places. This month, I'm still doing the marketing KPIs, and they're really taking off. In a lot of ways, they're showing some benefit. I'm able to see more commonly the blogging that I'm doing, obviously the podcast and the videos that go with this. It's not really video. I'm doing my podcast and then it publishes to my YouTube channel via repurpose.io. I'm also doing the cold to warm conversion that Alex Hormozi talks about. I'm doing it in reverse as cold to warm because I'm more comfortable that way. It doesn't really matter what order you do them in. The important thing is that you do them, and that's always the case. Also in this month, I'm looking at The Traveler's Gift, incorporating many of the concepts that came through that. Also a very simple read, but just loaded with lessons. So if you ever get a chance, definitely read that book. This week, I introduced on my blog series the Value-Based Fees by Alan Weiss. This is the last of the 5 blogs that I'm doing specifically on the people who have influenced me and influenced my company. And value-based fees was a great thing, especially when I was going through IT and doing a lot of work there. I literally threw away the clock, which made me absolutely unique in the IT world, especially in the area of managed services. You know, managed services is going to be this much per month, and that's it. You got to make that work with a one-time thing. Things like reinstalls, it's one price. It doesn't matter if I'm sitting there and taking a phone call while I'm doing my work or not. And it took all the pressure off of me and pressure off of my client. There was no benefit of my time to staying involved in whatever was happening. And so that alone brought to me a lot of mindset relaxation, I guess is the best word I can put it. Alan Weiss is, in the consulting world, a very unique character. I think he's out of New Hampshire. He holds that whole concept in his mind of, we're going to present the best we can do. We're going to present the best of everything. Therefore, we can charge whatever makes the most sense. Something that I got introduced to recently, which goes along with value-based fees, is something called affordable premium fees. This came from an attorney. We're all learning from everybody else. We have to continue learning. What it basically is the client chooses their fees. You have the things that you think you want them to choose from, maybe basically three options, A, B, C, and they choose the one that's within their financial fees. You get away from hourly, you get away from retainer, you get away from all that craziness that happens within the world of consulting, whether it's legal, whether it's medical. You get away from all of that hourly tracking, and you get down to the real core of what people want. They hate hourly fees. They hate retainers. They really do. Why would you ever put yourself into a position where you and the client are conflicting on how to spend your time? If you've never given this a thought, just consider the fact that nobody wants to have the unknown out there. And so with the affordable premium prices, they're choosing their dollars. ABC offers. A is bare bones. It's the lowest entry point, but it's part of what you're going to be offering in a next package. The B is exactly what the client is asking for. Nothing more and nothing less. And then C is what the client is asking for plus what the client needs. Not necessarily wants, needs. You price it according to a value of what it's going to do for them. This works across the board, whether you're in legal, if you're in medical. If you simply said, hey, it's $65 to come in and do that kind of a procedure, it's a go, no go decision. And so what happens with affordable premium fees is the client chooses the fees they want to spend. You give them basically three options. They can spend a little, they can spend a lot, or they can spend exactly what it is that they're wanting. And if they just simply don't have the money, guess what? They say no, right? I mean, it's the worst that happens. And many times if you've had a client walk out of your office or you've left their office without a clear view on what needs to be done and what the client wants, this is a great way to get around that, because if they can't afford it, they can't afford it. The decision that they make is no decision with you. That's fine. I'll take that any day, rather than wasting my time to try to help them out in a way that isn't going to make any sense for them. Along with affordable premium fees, there was something else that I picked up too. You have your first meeting, it's 15 minutes. That's the most that there is. And then you follow it up with a much longer meeting where you are allowing them to make decisions along the way. These are usually 1 to 2 hour meetings. You're really providing a lot of mindset thinking. You're getting right down into the decision making that the person across the table from you has to make. And you want to help them. You don't want to take 1 hour and put a clock on it, because that defies the whole concept of value-based fees, of affordable premium fees. And so these meetings can last 2 hours. They can last 15 minutes. It just depends upon the person across the table from you, what resources they have available. Are they willing to step up to new resources? Because people can get money from all over the place. I've done that before where I will go back to a client and say, hey, look, I can do this for you if we can pay this much. And now I have that money available that I didn't have before. So these decision meetings can last an hour to 2 hours. And the idea is at the end, if they say no, if they still say no, guess what? That's fine. You've given them the time to really think through it, work through it, talk through it, and understand what their options are for them. Remember, only 3% of people are ready to buy now at any one given time. That means 97% of other people are simply not prepared to make a decision about much of anything. There are 4 basic mindsets. 3% is the people who can decide today. Roughly 19 or 20% are in the mode right below that where they're collecting information. They're actually trying to get to a point that they know what place to go in order to get decisions. Somewhere between 60 and 70% of the people that remain are either problem aware but don't have the resources to do it, or are simply not problem aware. They don't realize they even have a problem. So why would they go fix it? Right? This is the part of being a consultant that is good. We get a chance to consistently look at the world. And when you're in business, you want to keep these same concepts in mind. Nobody wants to go buy a headlight, a fender, an engine, a hood, windows, glass, basic body shape. Nobody does that. You go out and you buy a fully assembled car. That car costs one price. If you want a warranty on it that exceeds the manufacturer's, it's a second price. But they're just making basic decisions. You're not buying pieces of the car and putting it together. You're buying the whole car. And so try if you can. I would recommend that everybody do this. Look very carefully in your business. If you don't have a business now, start by thinking this way. If you are looking to start a business, break things down to the smallest decision number you can, right? Kind of like your car. It's either the car, the warranty, or both. It's really simple. And think in terms of threes. Because as many times as we say it, a confused mind will always say no. So eliminate all those confusing pieces, all this stuff that's happening in your business. And if you can get down to that and just get down to 3 basic options on just about anything, people can then generally make a decision, even if the decision is no decision. No decision is better than no idea. And that's what, in that bottom group of people, the ones who are not problem aware, there's no idea that there is even a problem. Make sure you're marketing and you're nurturing your clientele to a point where you want to bring them out of that and they become problem aware, and then you start transitioning them to a higher level that, and this is where your nurturing comes. You've got some education going, you've got some basic nurturing, and you're getting questions and answers and handing it back. And finally, you can transition them into a position where they can make a decision and actually buy. I want to kind of recap here very simply. We've got our same books. We've got our monthly marketing KPIs, cold to warm conversion, and traveler's gift. I have already written and set up a new post for my blog for next Monday. As we've covered our value-based fees, our affordable premium fees, and our limits on our meetings, getting our offer down to as few decisions as we can. We're going to go ahead and sign off. For the Budding Entrepreneur, this is Randy Bridges, wishing you the best in your health, your wealth, your family, your business, everything about you. Take care. We'll see you back here next week.